quietly out of the spotlight, camps like Dadaab have been growing and growing and growing. About 100,000 refugees came over the border from Somalia into Kenya, and the UN set up a camp for them. Over time, more and more people have come as the civil war has not ended. Those people who were originally there have reproduced, they've had children. More people have come from Ethiopia, from Sudan, and so on, and now the population is pushing 400,000. Life doesn't stand still, so wherever you put people, they're going to try and live, they're going to try and make the best of it, and that's what they've done. A city is the best way to think about it, because although it was originally a camp, it's evolved now into these 5 connected suburbs with hospitals, with schools, with hotels, restaurants, soccer leagues, cinemas, all this different stuff. It's a city that exists on food aid that's run by the UN, and therefore you have UN staff who are paid their international wages with their danger money and all of their allowances, sometimes making up to $9,000 a month. And next to them are volunteers from the refugee community who are being paid a stipend that may be $70 or $80 or $90 a month. Conditions are bad. The default for everybody is food rations from the UN, which are dispensed every 2 weeks. And that is just enough food to keep you alive. And with the Syrian crisis, the rations have been cut, so some people are actually going hungry. Then, of course, you've got the rains, the sanitation, there's no permanent plumbing. Every rainy season, there's cholera. At the moment, there's around 1,000 people infected with cholera in the camp. In a way, it's a humanitarian emergency all on its own. The official Kenyan view of the government is that it wants Dadaab to disappear. It wants to bulldoze the camp, it wants all those people to go back to Somalia. When you put people somewhere, they're going to put down roots, they're going to make a city that works, and it's going to be very hard to uproot it. You can't just wipe a city the size of New Orleans off the face of the map. These people are not going to go anywhere. Dadaab is the biggest refugee camp in the world, but it's one of many. And there are many other examples of this where these temporary places have become permanent, where people are living for generations. Look at Gaza, is a city that's now 5 million people, existed for 60 years. There are a network of camps in Chad full of refugees from Darfur. There are now 3 generations growing up in camps on the border between Thailand and Burma. There are many more in Ethiopia, Yemen, South Sudan. This is a global problem. There are 14 million protracted refugees around the world, all living in these kind of temporary cities. And we need to accept that actually they're not temporary, they're permanent.